mentorship is a complete waste of time. At least that's what I used to believe. Partly because it has become a crutch individuals lean onto when defining their failure of a life. And one of the biggest reasons I sustain that philosophy, I hated people contributing to my growth. And I know it sounds counterintuitive because you always need people. I've spoken extensively on relationship and the role people have to play as touching your success. But primarily, where I come from in Africa and the environment I was groomed in, when someone helps you, it becomes an indefinite debt you have to hold psychologically. Someone helps you and you attain height of success, he expects you to wine him, dine him. He would make allusion on podcast. I was part of XYZ. And of course, it's a pride to be a contribution to success. Of course, it's something of joy, especially when you have little to no accomplishments. Relatively, it's something you can talk about. I was part of XYZ. It's a thing of joy. But over here in Africa, it has become a debt. When someone contributes to your growth, even the slightest of reaction is an excuse for ingratitude. I used to know him. Now he has money. He has become, he was not like, and then the list come. So that was one of the reasons I detested mentorship. I detested help. Even at the infancy of my YouTube channel, I refrained from reaching out to fellow content creators, either as a either for the reason of promotion or to solicit some kind of help. It's not in my DNA to go around seeking for help, especially endorsements for the philosophies I just shared. But something remarkable happened. I was on a phone call with my brother the other day. He asked me some questions. We talked about it back and forth, of which I reviewed the solution. But after getting few more of those kind of calls, I saw a pattern. I've experienced this same thing. I've gone through the exact same situation you're undergoing. It may be different actors, different scenario, different people, different personal anecdotes slash circumstance, but the same outcome. If this is the case, then the opposite is equally as probable. It means that if I've lived this life, then someone else has lived the life I truly want to attain. And it is through the mentorship and the help of my predecessor that would expedite my achievements. Because where he stopped will become your starting point, of which opens you up to various horizons. The new horizon and the lessons derived from that virgin experience would help posterity, would help the future generation overcome their hurdles, overcome their obstacles. That was when I really came to grasp the true effect of mentorship. So, mentorship is not like a father and son relationship. Mentorship is not necessarily proximity with the great. It's not mentorship is not a purpose to have proximity with a great person or to take selfies. It's not a title. If you truly do not understand the benefits, if you truly do not understand the sole reason for mentorship, you might get it wrong. Another thing we'll discuss is, as I initially stated, most people use this as a crutch to justify their failure of a life. But the truth is this: well, I can't find a mentor, that's why I'm a failure. You don't find mentors. I know it's counterintuitive again, because the same DM you send, thousands of people are doing the exact same thing. And when reaching out to help, or when reaching out for help, appeal to people's self-interest, not their gratitude or mercy. It's often said that the bond of the bond of goodwill is as slim as a thread, but the ties of mutual gain are like unbreakable chains. For as long as there's nothing to be benefited or gained from mentoring you as an individual, very few people will take you in. So the point I'm trying to highlight is, once you find someone, first of all, I commend you for admitting your inadequacy. I commend you for not being as arrogant and as confident in error like me. You understand you need someone who has walked this exact path in order to be successful. So I commend that virtue. But you can find online mentors, listen to their teachings, approach problems as they would. You do not necessarily need someone, or you do not necessarily need proximity with that individual, especially in today's day and age of technology. Information has become democratized. You have every single access to the internet, endless information. Also, most people would listen to every single thing I said. Yeah, he's right, and go back to Netflix. Why is this the case? Because majority are waiting for every single thing to be handed them. They are waiting for someone to give them the bullet points of their destiny and spoon feed them. My friend, it doesn't work that way. Even the Bible says that strong men retain wealth. Strong men retain wealth. And since the kingdom during the time of John, and only the violent taketh it by force. And if you are not violent, you cannot achieve success in this day and age. You do not just sit down, wait around, and hope, or come to the door of destiny and speak English. Nobody gives a shit. So understand this fundamentally. Nobody is coming to save you. If you do not take action, if you keep justifying your debilitating situation, ascribe to the absence of mentors, you would never grow. In fact, it's often said, there's this proverb, or like a wise old adage: when the student is ready, the master would appear. I've never paid for a course, I've never paid for information, I've not paid for anything in my life using the currency of money. It was hard work, determination, persistence, knowledge of where I'm going. I read the comments sometimes and I see things like, oh, he probably had someone mentor him or some kind of proximity. Yeah, you're right. I found online mentors and I absorbed every single thing I could learn from them. The majority of individuals who I might never get to meet, whom I have benefited heavily from their content. You see where the problem lies. Take action today. Be responsible for your life. Do not ever point fingers at people. It's often said that once you point one finger, you're pointing four right back at yourself. And where you cast the blame, power follows. Understand this concept that where you cast the blame is who you give the power to. You see this in the Bible. In the Garden of Eden, Adam, who told you? It was the wife. Notice he didn't talk to Adam again. He focused on the wife. Wife, who told you? The serpent beguiled me. He never spoke to the wife. The serpent didn't blame anybody. As a consequence, he retained the power over this earth. We see this logic check out during the temptation of Jesus. He was only able to offer the power, the riches, and every single thing associated with this world because Adam had relinquished the power. At the initial stages of the Bible, in Genesis 1, he said he made man and gave him access to every single thing on the earth. The heavens of heavens belong to him, and the earth has he given to the Son of Man. So once you cast blame, or wherever you cast blame, the power follows. So if you cast blame on Uncle Tom or your father, although you detest both of these individuals, it means Uncle Tom runs your life. You don't want to give Uncle Tom power. You don't want to give Auntie Mary power over your life. So dictate your life, dictate your circumstances, and you'll be fine. As always, my friend, pleasure speaking to you. See you in the next one.